Atlanta Journal. You looked frustrated walking off the field in the post-game interview. Have you reached a point of frustration with the set piece defending and the execution on offense in the final third?
Yes, I mean, I think there is some sort of frustration, obvious because of the result, but also because I don't think the performance of the team was one that deserved to lose the game. I think we certainly dominate the game. We certainly were in control of the game, but we couldn't finalize a good result due to the lack of final product in both boxes. I think that we need to do better in the very limited times that the position is inside our box. We need to do much better. And the many times we are around the box, we need to create a lot more. So I think that that's going to be the emphasis on this week before preparing Chicago. But obviously disappointed for giving away a game that, again, I think that we should have won.
Can you put your finger on the teams had issues defending set pieces going back into the preseason? Can you is there a consistent reason what is going on back there? Because Montreal could have had probably another goal after that first one when they got 3 chances in the penalty box to score because they were the first of the loose balls.
Yeah, well, I think set pieces is a topic. It's about concentration. It's about working as a team in a very specific play. But also we have to face that, many teams in MLS have more tall guys than us. And we want to play in a very specific way and not rely a lot in set pieces. But there are teams that certainly have probably a better height on players attacking set pieces, and that is always difficult to defend. I think the way we try to defend is not conceding a lot of set pieces and having the ball a lot in the opposite half, but the few that we are allowing every game become at times dangerous, like in this case. And again, I think we need to review, check why we concede that game. At times also we need to give credit to the position. Their delivery was very good. And at times it's hard to defend those type of balls. So, again, I don't rely a lot on that, but I think we still can improve on that side.
And last one for me, you've said frequently that if players aren't getting the job done, you won't hesitate to put in someone else to see if they can. Are you considering any potential changes? I know you're in the heat of this loss for next week.
We have to check the film. I think now we are obviously frustrated and upset about the result, and it's hard to make an assessment like that when there are too many days away from the next match. So what we're going to do is check the film, check what we did very well, what we are missing to get the results done. We will try to work in the week. We will try to come with the best lineup to face Chicago.
Gonzalo, you talked about the way that the team was controlling the game. What was your message to them at halftime? Because again, you're going into halftime and you're down, but you really were dominating. I think you had 70% of possession or something at halftime. So what did you say to them at that point?
Said that we need to continue with the same style, with the same ideas. I felt that we were very good at playing in between the lines, very good in our build-up and disrupting their pressure in midfield, something that is not easy to do against a team like Montreal. It's a very good side and it's hard to break at times. And I felt that the team did that very well. After that, in the final third, I felt that we were not maybe sharp in the final pass, that we tried making the runs in behind and to really create dangerous chances for us. But the few that we created, we missed. And that was the story of the game. So my message to them at halftime was just trying to continue with the same style, with the same ideas, with a little bit more of belief and trying to pact. I think with Marcelino's goal, that's what we did. The team started to believe and we were in control. And it was just that little moment of too many set pieces that we gave away that they got that little momentum to lead into their goal.
You guys didn't have the same volume of shots created in this game as opposed to the previous one. I'm just curious, because it was clear that you were dominating the game in midfield. Were you happy with the amount of runs that were going into the box, or in your opinion, was it more down to just the quality of the passes was not good enough to match those runs?
I felt the numbers at times can be better. I think we have to check the film again, but I felt that at times we had at least 2 players inside the box to receive the crosses. It's hard when you play against a back 5 and they have a lot of numbers inside the box. So at times I felt that, especially when they were pressing really high and we were disrupting their pressure, I felt that those were the moments where we really could have done better, because we had more numbers to advance the ball into their box, and maybe we can have more advantage there. But after that, when they kind of see it in a deeper block and they had a lot of numbers inside the box, I think it was hard for our players to create a real chance. And that's where I felt that we need to attack better, create deeper crosses from deeper areas, and just go for the probabilities of winning those crosses.
And then just one last one from me. Just Ibarra stepping into the starting 11 for the first time in a while in the league, alongside Mateus Rossetto coming back. Just your opinions on those 2 players and how they were able to control the game from midfield.
Yes, I felt that both of them, they had a tremendous game. Both of them were doing exactly what we asked for. The game plan was very clear. They executed almost at perfection, I would say. They were very good connecting to each other and connecting with Marcelino and Thiago in between the lines. Defensively, I was very happy with Ibarra and Rossetto, understanding the key player for them was Mihailovic, and through him they created a lot of chances. They didn't do that today, basically because we try to close him down every time, and they did a very good job. I think when you look at individual performances, I think the team did a lot of good performances individually, some tremendous performances, but then at the end, again, we fall short.
All right, we got Andrew here. Justin, if you can take it away.
All right, thanks, Andrew. We'll open it up to questions now.
Well, Andrew, is it just kind of the same story? Like, is it, what was the feeling like when you just, again, like the last couple of weeks, you've kind of dominated the game mostly on the field and in midfield, but just you don't get the goals and, obviously you don't get the result?
Yeah, it's kind of just like the same old story again. I felt again we were the better team by a mile, but we just switch off for a couple moments during the game, and they score on a set piece, and then they score on basically a recycled set piece as well. We play so well for 89 minutes of the game. We're the better team. We're keeping them pinned in. We're pushing the tempo, creating chances, all that stuff, and we just switch off for that moment, and it hurts us. So I think for us, it's just completing a full 90 minutes. No mental lapses, no mistakes, and we'll start getting wins.
And Andrew, this is Doug with the AJC. The team has had trouble defending set pieces going back to the preseason. Is it just the concentration you mentioned? Is it a lack of height? Is it tactics? What are the reasons?
I think it's just a lack of bite, a lack of mentality that, I'm going to win this ball over you. I'm going to fight, push, battle, all this stuff to win the header and clear the lines. And I think that's what's hurting us at the moment is we don't have enough, attitude where, I'm going to get to the ball before you and you're not going to have a chance.
Andrew, you said like we're going to get the wins. We're going to start winning games. I have to imagine that you feel that way just based on the way the team is playing. But I mean, I guess you answered the question, but there's no lack of confidence, I guess, within the team that's going to just turn itself around. So I'm just curious if confidence starts getting depleted when you play so well and you're just not getting results.
No, I mean, it's so early in the season, right? It's only 9 games in. If anything now, we have to come together more as a group. We have to become more of a family. And we just have to fight for each other in those moments that teams are looking for basically in the game. When we play a lot of teams, I mean, especially in this game, Montreal had nothing in the attack. They were almost just trying to play for set pieces, and that was going to be their attack because we control most of the game. I think it's just we got to go back to what the badge actually means. We're not a team that just is okay being in MLS, maybe making the playoffs. Just playing our games. No, this is Atlanta United. We want to play for trophies. We want to win trophies. I think that's just the little edge that we're missing, that we just have to motivate ourselves, whether that's, pushing each other and training a little bit harder on the field, covering for each other. If someone makes a mistake, things are going to happen in the games over the course of 90 minutes. And, you just have to have your teammate behind you. If you mess up, that they're going to cover for you. And I think once that happens, we're going to start turning and we're going to get on a roll. And, I think this will be a completely different conversation at the end of every game.
Andrew, this going back to the set pieces again for a second, if we could. There was a couple of times in the game that Montreal was the first to get that first ball, maybe because of their height or the quality of the delivery. But then they were also the first to get the second ball, the third ball, or the second ball again. And that's not really a height thing. What is that down to?
That's just, mentality on who wants it more. I don't think it's in those moments, it's not who's more skillful or who's the better player. It's just who wants it more. And, for us, it's life or death inside the box. I just said it, like, we have to get to a mentality where there's no chance that you're going to win the ball over me. There's no chance that you're going to push me and you're going to get, the first header on it. And I think that's just kind of what we're lacking right now, that little bite, that little, grit within our set pieces that, if there's a corner or a wide set piece that, we're not even concerned that they're going to try to score because we know that we have a better mentality than them. And I think that just comes with pushing each other harder on set pieces, more accountability, demand more from each other. And, hopefully it just kind of turns and everyone gets into that mindset of, there's no chance that someone's going to win the ball over me.
Bobby, can you kind of explain what happened on the first goal scored by Montreal on that set piece? And then the second goal, it looked like some of the players just kind of left the box, anticipating a counter or something. Can you describe what happened on that one, please?
Yeah, the first goal is, we set our line and it's a good ball whipped into the top of the area. And set pieces are clearly something that we need to work on, and we work on it in training, we go over it, and something we need to continue to work on and hammer out the problems and move in a positive direction with that for sure. I think it's something we definitely need to continue to look at and find solutions on the field, because we train it, so we got to do better in those areas. The second goal, I couldn't really comment on what happened too much. I'd have to watch it back. I've not watched it back yet, so I'll have to watch the video again and see.
Thank you.
Bobby, are these losses where you play well but don't get the result? I don't know. Just like how do you process that? Is it, and does it kind of build confidence that you're playing well, or is it? I'm just kind of curious as to just how you take in 3 consecutive games where the team just plays well and basically outplays the opposition, but just doesn't get the result.
Yeah, these games definitely hurt. You're not going to find a guy in that locker room that's pleased with the way that things are going right now. We dominate long stretches of the game and possess the ball for long stretches of the game, and unlucky in front of goal offensively, and then concede where we shouldn't concede, and we come away with 0 points. So I think you said it. I think it's a long season where this was game 8 or 9. So it is positive the way that we're playing. We're creating chances, we're dominating possession, and there are definitely positives to move forward with. That being said, there are definitely things that we need to button up and look at and continue to work on in training and try to solve these problems. Because at the end of the day, it's about winning games, and the last 2 results we've probably had the best of the game and come away with 0 points. So something's got to change there.
How did Alan Franco look to you, just coming back from injury and playing for the first time in a little bit?
Yeah, good. I mean, Alan, great on the ball, picks up good spots, he's aggressive, wins good tackles. You know, I think for us in the back, it's about communicating as much as possible, continuing to try to help each other, to try to pick up good spots and prevent, you know, teams hitting us on the counter, because I mean, that seems to be the way that we're getting played right now, is teams are trying to soak up our pressure and then hit us on the counter. So I think that being said, I think we did that really well today. We prevented them from, you know, basically countering us at any point. So yeah, I mean, I think he did well, and you know, we look to him towards, you know, playing the ball well from the back and continuing to be aggressive.